Hello, a warm welcome to you in the Ghatna Chakra book video. Let's begin this journey where we will present every topic in a simple, clear, and exam-oriented manner.
Have you ever wondered what really happens when the government decides to build, say, a new highway or a school right where people are already living? Well, today, we're going to break down that whole official process. We're going to focus on two huge concepts you absolutely need to know: the social impact assessment and the resettlement area. So, let's dive right in. Okay, so just imagine this for a second. There's a plan for a big new public project in your area. A dam, maybe a school, whatever. It's supposed to be for the greater good, but then you realize it's planned for a spot where people already have homes, where they've built their lives. That raises a massive question, right? What happens when progress runs into people's property? Before anyone even thinks about drawing up plans or surveying land, the whole thing has to kick off with one single foundational idea. There has to be a clear, justified reason that gets the ball rolling. And that reason, the key phrase that makes it all legal, is public purpose. The government can't just take land. It first has to identify a specific need that serves the whole community. Better transportation, new energy sources, education. This concept is basically the official green light for everything that follows. But hold on. It's not nearly as simple as just saying, we need this for the public, and then taking the land. The law demands a really crucial, non-negotiable first step before any of that can happen. So before a single shovel can even touch the ground, and way before any family is asked to move, the government is legally required to hit pause and perform a very specific action. So, what is this action? What's this mandatory step? Well, it's a formal process, and it's designed to figure out the real-world consequences of the project before it gets too far down the road. And here we go, our first key term, the social impact assessment. Basically, this is an official study that's required to evaluate how the project is truly going to affect the community. It looks at everything: the social, the economic, the cultural impact on the folks living there. You can think of it as a mandatory reality check. Of course, in practice, figuring out what makes an assessment truly fair and complete, well, that can get incredibly complicated. Now, the most important word there is necessary. I really want that to sink in. This isn't just a suggestion. It's not a courtesy or something that's nice to have. It is a mandatory legal requirement. This is supposed to make sure that the human cost of a project is actually measured and understood right from the very start.
Which, of course, brings us to the most serious thing this assessment might find. What happens when the impact isn't just noise or traffic, but people actually losing their homes?
And this is the undeniable human reality at the very heart of land acquisition. A project that's meant for the public good might need private land. And when that land has homes on it, families are displaced. It's a huge deal. Their lives are directly and often permanently changed. This is easily the most important question in this entire process. If you ask people to leave their homes for a public project, where are they supposed to go? Is there any kind of plan for them?
And the official answer is our second key term, a resettlement area. This is where the government's responsibility kicks in. It's a designated area where displaced families are supposed to be given a new place to live. It's the official solution, although actually creating a new sense of community and belonging in these areas, that comes with a whole other set of challenges.
Okay, so we've looked at all the individual parts. Now let's just step back and put them all together to see how this whole sequence plays out from start to finish. You can see it flows in a really clear, logical order. First, the government has to identify a legitimate public purpose. Second, it has to conduct that necessary social impact assessment to get a handle on the consequences. Third, if the project still moves forward, families might be displaced. And if they are, fourth, the government has to provide a resettlement area for those families. So when you look at all these steps together, you start to see what this is really all about. It's a structured system that's trying to strike an incredibly delicate balance, the balance between what the wider community needs and the profound, life-changing impact on individuals.
So this whole framework gives us the how, the procedure for acquiring land. But it really makes you think about the why, doesn't it? What does a system like this truly tell us about how we as a society weigh the goals of the community against the rights and the lives of individuals? That's the bigger question we're thinking about.